Hey everybody, I am Velocirix, and this is part 3 of a Greek game that we inherited. Just to give a brief recap, this save game file came to me kind of by an indirect route. It was originally played by someone who I believe to be a fan of the game, just kind of a frustrated fan who had spent quite a lot of time, playing the game and trying to get to know the systems, and I couldn't kept running into roadblocks trying to beat the game. And so in this particular outing, he uh, was playing as the Greeks. He developed a really, pretty robust little kingdom here, and then got ambushed by Assyria, and Assyria just it's a bigger civ, got more cities, got better production, and just overpowered him. So he was frustrated, and he sent the game file to us. It found its way to me, and I kind of wanted to make a series of videos to see if I could help, see if I could, make some changes structurally to the way the empire's put together, and maybe provide some insights as to why this might work a bit better. So, it, overall, what the main thing that we've done so far, and the game was sent to me near the end of turn 94. So we've played for 14 turns so far. Uh, and one of the key things that I started to do differently in terms of reorganizing the kingdom was to create what I refer to as a zone defense plan, which means I break my realm down into functional zones, and I make sure that each zone has an appropriate number of defenders in it so that, if stuff happens, because stuff always happens, um, there are forces immediately available to deal with whatever stuff might be happening. So we did that, and we have three zones. The city of Crouton, I know that's not how it's pronounced, had our expeditionary force, which consists of these four guys, and our fledgling navy discovered this little island with some barbarians on it who we relieved of their responsibilities of managing this land and took that over for ourselves. We built a settler, got him over here, got a city founded. We're in the process of building a worker who will come out and start improving some of these lands. So this is zone one and the zone one force. Zone two is up here at the capital. We set an initial target of 6 troops, 6 units. They got called away because we had a little uprising problem here, and we had 4 units. We were able to dispatch 3 of them. This Maceman is going to get one attack. He's probably going to whack one of these two conscripts. It won't kill it, I don't think. It'll kill either one. No, it'll knock the hell out of it, but it won't kill it. And then we'll crush him on the next turn. So that's the Zone 2 Defense Force doing their jobs. And then, since Assyria was the cause of the problem, we proceeded from the assumption that Assyria was going to be a problem for us. And so we've organized uh, the Thebes force as Zone 3, and we've proceeded from the assumption that Assyria is going to be a problem. So this is going to be the strongest force. We've set this at an initial target of 6 units. We've set this at an initial target of 16. That's 12 infantry and archers and 4 onagers planned for the defense of Thebes. And we're not at our targets yet. The defense for the expeditionary force is at its target of 4. That's all we really wanted and needed for right now, and it is at target. But neither of our other two zone defense forces are full strength yet. They're getting close, but they're not there yet. The other thing that we have been doing is we have been working on building an intercoastal waterway by buying tiles to expand the coastline that is under our control via borders. And I wanted to do that for a specific reason. The specific reason is moving along coastal water tiles is 3 times faster and more efficient than moving along a road. So if you want to get troops from point A to point B quickly, then you march them over a road. If you want to get troops from point A to point B with blinding speed, then you use an intercoastal waterway because it's 3 times faster. And so the basic idea is if we get into a fight with Assyria, I want to be able to take any troops that we build from these southern cities. We have three, uh, and so troops get built here. We station a few here, and I want to be able to transport them right into Assyria's face like instantly, in the blink of an eye. And the cool thing about that is like the troops that we've got here in Zone 2, this is a demonstration force. This is right up on his border, plain view. He can clearly see what we've got. We're showing our cards here. If we keep forces down here, we're not showing those cards. Those cards are face down on the table, so he knows we probably have more guys, but he doesn't know exactly what we got. And I like that he doesn't know what we got. And so if he starts trouble, this is my ace in the hole right here. I can put this in his face instantly once this is complete and really give him a surprise that will be a serious problem. I like that. I like being able to cause problems like that. That's what wins games. So this intercoastal waterway is incredibly important to me strategically. Now, for the moment, we're using the ship at anchor to bridge this gap so that this is all functionally uh, are part of our intercoastal waterway. But eventually, I'd like to buy these tiles down to here, put a quarry here, and put a stone cutter on it. And I think that will expand these borders so that they touch. And we'll get these sea tiles too. And that should give us an intercoastal waterway without requiring the ship at anchor. But even if it doesn't, I mean, this is good land. We can use it. So it's still worth buying the tiles and trying it. And if it doesn't work, then we've still got the ship at anchor here as the solution. So I'm going to spend the money to do this, but it doesn't have to work because we've already got a solution. So if it does, great. If it do we get an extra ship? If it doesn't, then nothing really lost. We spent some money, we got some real estate, no big deal. So that's where we are. Those are the major things that we've done over the last 14 turns. We've also grown the economy some. Specifically, the biggest change has come from building a whole bunch of quarries, which has upped our stone count considerably. And we've been systematically building lumber mills, which has upped our wood count. We're currently researching bodkin arrow, which will give us the ability to upgrade our archer units to longbow. But in order to do that, we need lots of wood. So lumber mills, more wood, more longbows. Longbows are stronger, so that's more military strength. And yeah, so all of that is very great goodness. So that's where we are, and this is the end of the turn. I'll actually go ahead and hit end turn while I'm talking. The turn can be processing, and when it's done, we'll have 35 orders to play with, and we will continue uh, building towards our objectives. Now, I I have decided that for the moment, I'm gonna get the table set for the guy that sent this in, and send the save file back, and then I'm gonna make a part 4 video where we continue. That way, he'll have the army, he'll have what he needs to take the game from here and win it however he wants to. But I'll also continue the video series beyond that point, so that like if he gets the save file back and he's having trouble with how to use the army that we now have on the table effectively against an Assyrian attack or whatever, well, then we'll have videos that'll cover that too. So consider those to be spoilers. If you are the person who sent in the video or the save file, this is probably the last video in the series you want to watch, because the rest, you might want to try it out on your own. And then if you get stumped, then watch the next part over. What is this? Soon after this guy's death, and blah, 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 message found. Why do we even care about this? Okay. Uh, okay. So the governor would become vengeful, but we gain bonus to the religion's opinion of us, or we can influence the governor, and Zoroastrians wouldn't like us as much, and we're not a schemer, so we can't do that one. Um, Now, interestingly, though, we have two families that are followers of Zoroastrianism, so I'm kind of inclined to bump relationship with Zoroastrianism up, because, yeah, I'm thinking about switching. And besides that, when we did this and we got a 40-point boost here, you'll notice these both increased by 40%, or by plus 40 as well. So anything we do to improve this also improves this, and that's a pretty big deal. So to me, that's worth it. And the governor can just be pissy. Whatever. I mean, it sucks that he's mad at us, but I'm not gonna lose a lot of sleep over it. How are we doing on money? Yeah, okay. So this guy gives us civics and science and costs us a little bit of money, but that's actually not horrible. So yeah, let's do it. Okay. So the maceman took a whack at the city, which damaged the walls, and we could keep working on the master poet, which I don't remember telling it to do, but whatever. But we need to repair the walls first. So we're going to interrupt that for a minute to repair the city walls. And then this guy just needs to die, right? I mean, he just needs to go away. And I want to make him go away, but I don't want to use uh, my conscripts. I would rather kill him with these troops. I mean, the main, the main battle troops, right? Oh, did we? No, we didn't kill him. We smacked the crap out of him, but we didn't kill him. Okay, so he's dead, and these guys did their jobs. That's what we built them for. So this dude came from Eritrea. We're going to send him back there so he can continue his garrisoning duties. Uh, this dude was the garrison from here. We'll just put him back in the city. When this dude came from the capital, so we will put him back in the capital. So that puts all of our toys away. All of our garrisons went back home. These guys have all launched attacks, so they're damaged, but we can't heal them till next year. And these guys can all return uh, back to their stations because this is our force, our Zone 2 force. So this was a good test run for them. We had a threat that arose, and they were in a position that they could ride down and deal with it effectively. And they did that. And so go them. That's exactly what we built them for. And so as a test run, even though they're not quite full strength, we wanted 6 units there. And I think we have 5, right? Yeah, not counting the garrison because the cavalry came from over here. So, but I think actually I'm just going to use the horse up here, and that'll give me, and we got an axeman coming, and that'll give me, that'll meet our target for the capital's defense. So that's all we need. And I like having that horseman there because my initial plan called for like 3 and 3 infantry and archers, and that's fine. But having the flanker there, the cavalry, that gives us uh, a little extra maneuverability that will come in handy. And we're building a chariot elsewhere that will put up as an addition to the Thebes force, and that'll give us the same advantages here. So in this segment of the game, I'm gonna prep this to hand the save over to my guy, right? So I want to get the military forces fully built out and positioned where I want them. And I also want to shape the battlefield or the battlefield as I envision it. Because, and I say that because, like, well, let me just give this as an example. Okay, so I covered some of this in the last video, but basically, if Assyria attacks, their main approach is going to be to try and hit Thebes, and the reason that's going to be the main approach is because they can send this army that they already have south to attack Thebes, and they can attack from a secondary direction as well. Well, that just makes a lot of sense. Of course, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come at Thebes hard, and they have more cities, and they probably have more troops, and they definitely have more orders. So that theoretically is going to press Thebes really hard. Okay, but we know that's going to come. So we can get ready for that. And that's why we've got our guys positioned exactly where we do, because we're occupying the favorable terrain, right? These are urban tiles and forests. And look at their army. What do you notice about their army? Their army has a ton of archers. Well, guess who has a 50% damage reduction if they're shooting into the trees? All those archers are basically rendered half strength. Okay, well, that's an advantage. Plus, uh, they're going to be fighting on our turf, which means that our guys can heal up between turns, and their guys cannot. Because do you see any units with hero generals anywhere in this entire army? I do not. So nobody here is going to be able to heal once they step across that line. And once they step across that line, not only are they going to be fighting level 5 fortified guys on the choice defensive terrain, they're going to be facing archers that can fire right at them. They're going to be facing onagers that can do splash damage, and they're going to be facing these really tough customers on fortified on good terrain. That's going to be a bloodbath and not for us. So, yeah, I am totally we're building this army, and we're structuring our defense specifically to defend them to death. And the plan would be, since they've got more troops and more orders, the plan would be to let them come and let them burn their orders to get here, and then we will just crush this. We'll eat that initial attack because our guys are set up to do that, and then we will hit back really hard. And so that's the basic plan here. Now, you know, we do understand that there will be some guys coming from here too. And so we're going to shape the battlefield, and that's coming next. And specifically, what shaping the battlefield means is that all these trees here, yeah, all these trees are going to go away. This is just going to get clear cut, and we'll bank the wood to upgrade our archers to longbow so that when they come, and we'll have some guys situated here, defensively deployed to meet them. But to get here, they're going to have to march across an open, empty field, and we're going to have onagers and archers, and so yeah, let them march across that open, empty field if that's what they want to do. That's just death. And in the meanwhile, we will have our expeditionary force idling down here. So let them come, let them get all the way in here, and then we close the trap, surround this force, and they just go away. And that's shaping the battlefield, and that's coming next. As soon as I free up a worker, I'm just going to send a worker over here who's going to be dedicated to just clear cutting forest from now until we're done. So that's going to happen pretty immediately. Let's see, we got 2 idle workers, so let's make that happen right now. Actually, not with that worker because he's very far away. Okay, so no, we won't make it happen right now because we're not going to use one of these workers that's super far away. So we'll worry about that later. Right now, what we're going to do though is we're going to start exploring. We have a third biome, and actually, I'm going to take this guy and start exploring with him. And we're going to go, I think, well, I want to come over here because where Assyria has their boats, because I want to see what else Assyria has. They may have found a little island like we did with some barbarians on it and conquered another city. And if they have, we need to know that. And we also need to infiltrate it. But I also don't want to mess up my intercoastal waterway. So this newly built guy will just come over. Well, we don't have the orders, but he'll come over here and we'll plug him back in. And yeah, so we'll do that, and all will be well. We'll put him at anchor, reestablish that, and all will be well. And then next turn, this guy goes over and starts to nose around um, Assyrian territory and find out more about what they got because we want to know what they got. And we're verging on, and we need to get married again because our husband is no more. Well, if we didn't have the orders for it anyway this turn, so we'll uh, we'll do that next turn. And coming up, like really soon, we are going to have the tech that's going to enable us to start uh, doing some longbows upgrades. And then we should, after we upgrade the longbows, then we're going to check the military power uh, comparisons again and see how we're doing. Because right now, uh, Assyria is listed as stronger than we are. And I think after we finish a round of upgrades to longbows, we are probably going to show up at parity with them. But we'll check. We'll check. And that'll be a big step toward uh, getting ready for a potential war with the Assyrians. And, look, I mean, we're in second place, and Assyria has been widening their lead. They're still quite far from, oh, this is good. They're still quite far from uh, the victory condition, so we don't have to worry about, them snaking a victory out from under us. We got plenty of time to head that off. I'm picking this guy because he's got a 3 wisdom and is a scholar, by the way. So, yeah, that works. Uh, oh, well, Solver wants to do some treachery. Hell yeah, let's do it. I mean, we have a peace treaty with the Assyrians right now, but I don't care if we don't keep it because, you know, eventually we're gonna stab him in the back anyway, probably. But yeah, I'm not gonna get in the middle of a religious fight. I would really rather not. And that was for our daughter, by the way. Our daughter married the dude from the mustache guy. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. So we need to get hitched. Uh, okay. Well, do we have any good candidates from any of these families? Uh, I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, then we don't get to pick like who they offer us. But yeah, okay. Uh, yeah. See, these guys actually, we have super good relations with them right now. So it would kind of, in a way, it would kind of be a shame to stab them in the back because we're actually really good friends with them now. But at the same time, they were the ones that caused the problems in the first place that caused this uh, save game to come to me. So I kind of feel almost obligated to beat the crap out of them for that reason alone. So, I think probably that's just got to happen, even if we're on good terms with them now. Although, when I send the save game back, by all means, if you would like to keep the good relationship with them and use the army to bludgeon somebody else, that's totally cool too. But since they were the ones who kind of roughed you up, I figured we would pay them back for that. All right, we're gonna go up here and infiltrate Gazin because that's the holy city for Zoroastrianism. And actually, uh, if we're gonna declare war on Assyria, I think acquiring this one should be one of our goals because we could do that and then switch to Zoroastrianism, which the whole world seems to be adopting anyway. And then we would own the holy city, which would give us a bunch of advantages. So, in the initial war, I think it would probably be enough just to take these two cities, Herbal and uh, Tyria. Yeah, like take this as the initial bite, but then after we recover and whatever, we can go smash some more and grab the holy city. And I mean, that'd be awesome. So that would be something well worth considering. Now, same thing here, right? So I want to explore over this way, but I want to get more, I'm going to bust more fog for my buck. So I'm actually going to explore with this unit, and then I'll just put the other ship back at anchor. And so for a minute, we're going to have, uh, we're going to lose our anchor points, but we'll have them both reestablished here in just a second. All right, so we come here, I think, right? And yeah, okay. Well, actually, that's not where he was before. I actually want him here. Yeah, I think I want him here, right? Yeah, because that gives me a broader landing zone and they only need the one tile there to get across. So, yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll establish the anchor and then we need to reestablish the anchorage here, which, no, yeah, it doesn't matter. That's gonna, either of those tiles would work because we're gonna have overlap anyway. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so anchorage has been restored. Until we get this sorted, that'll work just fine. And we have a ship out doing exploring things. And this looks like there's nothing here, but we'll turn northward and see uh, as of next year. So let's make sure we have our workers doing stuff. This guy finished a barracks, and that's good. This is still developing culture. So uh, we need to, well, I'm going to build another barracks anyway, but we need to work on some cultural stuff to get their cultural counts up too. But we also need more training points if we're seriously planning for a war later. And this is another thing too. By the way, it's counterintuitive, I know, but if you're a new player, you may not fully appreciate this. It's important to understand how military training points are generated. How this number, this plus 57 number is generated. Each city generates X number of training points, right? And if that city is working on training a unit, then all of its training points go toward training that unit, which means none of those training points go toward this number. And you need training points, right? You need training points in addition to troops. So when you put your economy on a war footing, you need to balance between building new troops and leaving some cities building other stuff like civics, stuff that takes civics or food to complete, so that this number keeps growing because you're going to need to assign generals or do certain leader actions like heroes can launch offensive and that takes training points. And so you're going to need those training points, force marches, all that buying orders, all that training points. So you need training points to constantly grow, which means that in cities, even if I never plan to build a single troop out of this city, it could benefit from having a couple of barracks because that's going to add to this number. So even if these guys never build any troops at all, it's still providing a benefit to me because I can safely just churn up some more training points just from this. And so that's awesome. A lot of times especially newer players, and I made this mistake when I was a newer player. You build barracks where you're going to build troops because that gives you more training points and the troops get built faster, and that's what you want. And that's true. That is 100% accurate. But it is also true that barracks in your non-troop cities provide another very important benefit, and so it's well worth spending the resources to build that because you absolutely want this number to always be increasing. If you're running a deficit in training points, you got problems. You might not feel the pinch right away, but you will feel it. And when you do, it's going to suck. So just don't put yourself in that situation. It's not ever. It's just not worth it. It can lead to no end of really nasty problems. Okay, so lecture over. That's all I wanted to say about that. But it's super important. So remember it. Okay. So we're just going to build more quarries because it, it, we could double the number of quarries that we have, and we still wouldn't have enough stone. We're just going to need stone forever. Okay. And this, by the way, Chalkis, this city, it actually was kind of a happy accident because I built it from a patron city, and then I founded it as the patrons, which means that this city got an extra point of population when it got founded. So instead of just having one pop, it got one citizen, it got two citizens on founding. So that's fun. But also, the other two patron cities don't have a lot of food, which means they're not good at building conscripts, which is why they've still got archers as garrisons. But this city's going to have a lot of food. So this city can start building, well, they're building their own conscript. And once we get these camps done, they're going to be able to build conscripts super fast. And you want to put garrisons in cities. You want the troops to be of the same family that the city is. So when these camps are done, Chalkis is going to build some conscripts, and we're just going to ship them over to these other cities, and that's going to free up two more archers who will become longbows that we can put on the front line, and that's big. So I didn't plan that. That wasn't like this conscious thing that I had in my mind, but I'm glad it worked out that way because that's very much uh, to our advantage. So go us. Okay, and we're gonna uh, set about putting these camps on the ground. That's going to be this guy's overriding mission for now. And I think that I will move the. I think that I will. No, I can't because I just put the ship at anchor. So next turn, I do want to move the expeditionary force back to the coast of Crouton because I want to demonstrate if they're sitting here, how far can they get courtesy of our intercoastal waterway? And you're going to see the advantages straight up of the thing that we've spent all these resources putting together. And we are just going to continue with. Oh, no, 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 no. I wanted to take one of these workers. Sorry. No. I wanted to take one of these workers, and his new job, is going to be battlefield shaping. So he's going to come over here, and we're just going to clear cut this stuff. I don't even care, as you get farther away from a city, this number will actually decrease. It hasn't, we're not far enough away yet. But even if it did decrease, I would not care. And we're going to chop this stuff in neutral territory too. I don't want him to have any place to hide when he comes across here. So all this is just going to go away. And that's big. And we're going to use the wood anyway because we're going to need it when we uh, start upgrading those archers to longbow. It's going to take. Oh, we have to buy that tile. Well, screw that. I mean, well, do we? Is that? Why do we have to buy that tile? That's not in anybody's territory? Really? Really? That's just a one tile hole in the realm? Okay, well, we can buy it for Eritrea for cheap, so let's just do that. And then we'll put a thing, a granary, or the hell am I saying? Why can we not put oh, because that was his only action was to buy. Okay, well, the next turn we'll do that. Um, we need, yeah, we need more lumber mills. We need more, uh, well, we get the bonus if they're around camps. Oh, but we already done that. Okay. Well, it's not going to be as good then, but we can still make triangles and get the adjacency bonuses. So we'll do this. We'll do a lumber mill here because we're going to need ridiculous amount of wood. Yeah. So pretty much all of this is just destined to become lumber mills because we're, we're going to need it. And even if it doesn't produce a ton, it doesn't really matter. It's six more than we had. So yeah. Okay. Uh, these guys can all go home now because we've ended the threat. So there's no real value in keeping them. Oh, we're almost out of orders anyway. Okay, well, we'll send one of them home. And that is all we can do. And I'm glad we got that worker out on Chiclet or whatever the new city on the island is, because yeah, our food is getting a little tight. So that'll wind up giving us like 40 new food, and then we can put some specialists on there too, and that'll bulk it up even further, and that'll be great because yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have to run a negative anywhere in the short run, that's okay, and especially if you've got decent income and decent resource counts in other places, you can buy and sell in the market and offset that or whatever. But as much as possible, you at least want to. You don't have to have hundreds of surplus per turn in every category, but you at least want to have surpluses. They don't have to be huge necessarily, but you don't want to find yourself running chronic deficits in anything because the market can be extremely expensive. So it's not a real efficient way to make up the difference. I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I would just prefer to build a more robust economy and not have to worry about it. That's kind of the way I structure my stuff. Or try to. I have had games. You can go back and look at some of the other videos on my channel where I've been running some pretty nasty deficits, but lesson learned. So lesson learned. Okay, see, more and more people are converting to Zoroastrianism. I kind of feel like we're going to have to join that party at some point. Uh, okay, so we could get olives, we could get salt. Are any of our families, are they like super excited about either one of those? These guys like salt, don't they? Yeah. Okay. Well then, by all means, let's add some salt. Okay. So our marriage options are this builder who's upset with us, or this orator who isn't upset with us but doesn't really have a whole lot to bring to the table. I think we're just going to take that as the option. Uh, Several landowners from the nation of Rome seek an audience. They complain about the shabbiness and instability of their cottages. We can gain 2 conscripts in the capital that we really don't need. We could further damage our already not great. Oh, yeah, actually, we are pretty good. Yeah, screw Rome. And I say that because they're similar sized army, but they have crap tech. So, and they're far away from us, or far-ish away from us. So, I don't know that I'm all that concerned about uh, making them angry. Not really going to lose any sleep over that. Okay, so what do we have here? This city right here. This city was making stone cutters in order to bulk up our civics count. Uh, and we now have 15.6 civics, which is good. Uh, I don't know that we need. Well, okay, yeah, we're just gonna continue to build stone cutters until we can't anymore. Yeah, that's fine. That'll give us more civics, which will make building other specialists faster anyway, and we're gonna need the stone, so it's not like that's a bad thing. So Argos is just going to become increasingly our stone, well, not our stone capital, really, but yeah, it's going to do stone stuff. Now over here, we need, uh, well, we need to bulk up our order count, and we have enough stone that we could do that. So I'm going to do like a garrison, a barracks, and a barracks again, and we'll just kind of build out this way because well, we've already got, what do we got? We got the stronghold over here. Okay, and they've got, oh yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll do barracks here, here and here. But do we want to do that? No, we don't, because we don't really have a big surplus of metal, and putting another barracks down would take a metal upkeep. So we're actually going to just build another mine to, that'll give us a diamond shape of mines, give us the adjacency bonus, and it'll give us another 10. And that is helpful. So let's do that. And then this guy, we are going to clear cut. We're going to take this scout and we're going to move him up here. Uh, the hell? Who is this? Why can we not? Oh, because we don't have the money. Haha. Okay. Well, let's fix that, right? Because we want to infiltrate most of uh, Assyria's cities because we want to be able to watch their troops as they move around the map. We want to know where their reinforcements are, where they're coming from. We want all of that. So yeah, I don't care how much it costs. We're making that happen. And this guy, we're just gonna brazenly walk up here and clear cut trees as part of shaping the future battlefield. So, and we're picking up more wood for uh, upgrades, which we'll start doing like next year. Come on, dude. You're fatigued. You wait. Why did you build a road? I don't want a road there. Okay. Yeah, we don't. The computer's already getting laggy again. I'm not sure what's causing that, but we'll try to deal with it, at least until we accomplish our mission, and then, if we have to reboot at the end, so be it. But I want to try to hang in there until we uh, complete the goals that we had set out for ourselves at the beginning. And yeah, okay. So this at least gets all the workers working, and we're going to bulk up the stone count even more, and I'm going to explore to see what the Assyrians are up to over here. It don't look like they're up to much of nothing, although they had this ship at anchor like they were going somewhere, but they're not going here. Ain't nothing here to see. Yeah, see, they've got something at anchor, so maybe there's some more mountains over here, so we might next turn we might find uh, the remains of a barbarian camp, or yeah, I don't know, something, but we'll see. In the meanwhile, let's get these guys home. I want to I want to start thinking about where exactly we want to put them, like how we want to position them relative to Assyria, so that we can kind of have a more structured defense rather than just having them laying around the map wherever. Uh, but we'll worry about that like next turn. This turn, we're just going to get them close to home, and then we can figure out where they all go later. Okay. Well, that's good. So we got an axeman in one. So we got three archers. That'll give us our three infantry, plus a horseman that we picked up from an event in the last session. So we targeted 6 units for this initially, and we will have 7. So mission accomplished. This guy is home, and he will just stay home, putting away the toys. Same thing with this guy. Uh, oh yeah, I wanted to get these guys out of there, but we'll do that maybe next turn. Okay, this guy, I actually, we're gonna have more onagers than we had initially targeted for up here, and that's fine. But I do think that the Capital Defense Force could benefit from having at least one. So we will ship them an onager too. That'll give them 8 units, and we had originally slated 6. So, and that's fine. I'd rather have more units than I originally planned for than less. So, bravo. That'll be another mission accomplished. But next turn, we got guys jammed up here in Syracuse. So next turn, we need to make it a priority to go ahead and get more of them uh, up to Thebes because we want to firmly establish our defensive line and get everybody kind of pre-positioned so we're ready in the event of a nasty surprise, which is incredibly unlikely at this point. I mean, we're at peace with literally everybody except the Vandals, and we don't really give a shit about the Vandals. So, oh, and I think we were at war with the other barbarian tribe, and somebody killed them. So, yeah, we're at war with the Vandals wherever they are. We don't even know where they are. They had control of this island, and we declared war on them to take it. And yeah, I don't know where the Vandals even are anymore. So, no. And it didn't actually. Okay. Again, computer lag. Okay. Severely ill. Not great. Swordsman. And this is the game-ending tech. I mean, we have onagers, we have longbows, and we're about to have swordsmen. I think in like 8, 9 years. So yeah, that's game over. When we upgrade all of our guys to swordsmen, the, the world is done. If we want to, if we want to destroy someone, we just will. And why won't you? Yeah, click it, take it. I wish to choose this tech. Why is it not letting me choose this tech? Yes, research this one. Okay. For some reason, just clicking on the card, that apparently was not good enough. Okay, so it looks like we had a lot of so we're not charming, so we can't do that. Laches of Syracuse has died. Uh, +4 legitimacy. Yeah, and I don't really care if this guy gets mad at us because, whatever. Okay, so we can either gain civics, but we've already got 2,000. So let's just take the religious opinion. That is fine with me. The ancient statue we unearthed has been stolen. Do we? Wow, that's expensive, but let's do it. I want to see what the other event is. Choose a new chancellor. Whew, big changes afoot. Okay, well, Alexander is a natural choice, and that would possibly endear us to the family a little bit if we put him in charge. Yeah, okay, that helped, right? And so we could get it positive if we choose her. And she doesn't really, I mean, she's not a very good ambassador because uh, foreign opinion drops, but I don't really care. I mean, politically, that makes the most sense for us. So we'll do it, and our neighbors will just have to live with it. I was going to put a barracks there, and kind of now I can't. But that's okay because we could use the salt, and then when we get the salt, we can give it to the sages, and that should put them back to positive relations. We kind of got hosed by those uh, events, but I mean that happens sometimes. Now I wonder, can we? Yeah, okay, so we can run an influence mission. We're rapidly running out of money, but I mean that was kind of an important thing to do. So yeah, I feel like we kind of had to. Can we? Yeah, I want another onager. I'm. That's another one of those units where they're expensive as hell, but you really can't have too many because, I mean, it's an onager and it does splash range damage and it hits really hard. And if you have 4 or 6 or 10 like massed together, armies just evaporate. So, and I know this is expensive and I know we don't have a lot of food right now, but I kind of don't care because elephants are amazing and they're specialists. And if we need at least one, if we run into a guy somewhere in the field who's fortified on a really good defensive tile, and it would just take an inordinate amount of attacks to kill him because he's on this amazing tile and he's fortified and he's defensive oriented promotions, then the elephant comes up and just moves his ass off the tile and problem solved. We need one. We don't need a bunch. I mean, if we had a bunch, that'd be great too. But we need at least one so that we can, when we inevitably run into a problem like that, we have an answer. And if we have a couple of extras, awesome. That would be great. This is going to take a long time for this to build, but we can build some barracks with the worker and do that and speed the process up a little bit. But we need at least one because too often that happens, and then what you wind up in the situation where you're just spending this redonkulous number of orders trying to kill this one unit that just will not die because he's super unit. I hate that. That's just annoying. So let's make sure we don't get annoyed. We'll just, when we inevitably, oh, my lord. Okay, well, we found the Assyrian fleet. What the hell are you guys doing over here? We didn't get invited to this conference. Okay, and there's barbarians. Well, we found the Vandals. Sweet. Okay, so, and we don't have the money to infiltrate another city yet, but that's fine. I don't even think we're going to get there this turn. We're not because that doesn't go anywhere. Okay, well hey, that's actually interesting. Okay, so look at that. Shushan is in kind of a secluded valley. I thought all this was connected. It's not. And that means he would have a devil of a time reinforcing this, right? Oh, that redraws the map. That is that is useful intel. Oh, and there's look at the luxuries, the furs, the Holy smokes. Okay. We got to rethink then. See, initially, I was thinking that all this was open and connected, and that if we tried to take Tushpa, he could just reinforce all day long from all over the place. But this is actually like the Tushpa is at the mouth of kind of an isolated valley. It's cut off from the rest of the kingdom. Now that is interesting. Yeah, that might redraw the whole battle plan. I mean, it would still be cool to get Gerbil and Tyria as uh, territorial acquisitions. That'd be fine, but it would not be as difficult as I originally thought. Now, if we're going to take Tushpa, we would also want to take Tushan. But once we took Tushan, he would not be able to get it back. I mean, there's no way, right? Because it's all surrounded by mountains, and we will want to send the scout up here to just now. Wait a minute, could he? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. So we need to scout some more. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is a mountain too. So I think all of this is ultimately closed in. I don't think there's any way for him, any good way for him to get to Tushan except through Tushpa, because even though the borders are here, that's a mountain, so he can't come across this way. The only way he can get to Tushan is around this mountain range, so we'd have to come through Tushpa and then north. Okay, well then I think we've discovered a flaw in or an inherent geographical weakness in the Assyrians' kingdom. And we could ruthlessly exploit that and pick the realm apart. But more on that later. We'll do some additional scouting and we'll find that out. But that's potentially big. That's potentially very big. All right. And we're just going to continue our clear cut crusade. Now, we're not going to buy any more tiles because we are out of money. So we will be sending our uh, we'll be sending our units home, the units that were out buying tiles. And honestly, I think that's enough. We've already clear cut the trees. I don't know that there's a tremendous lot of value to spending thousands of gold buying these remaining tiles when, yeah, we're not going to get that much for it. So I think we're fine the way things are. So let's just go home. Let's go home and get the army organized. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna lumber mill all of the entire Boobin forest. Uh, oh, because we're out of metal. Well, I can, yeah. So I can buy enough metal to cover the cost. but we are running low on everything. Money, iron, yeah, everything. Okay, so these guys are all back home now. And now we need to start thinking about like where exactly do we want a potential battle line? I think we want to occupy the high ground. So I want to put a leading element of infantry here and here. I want to keep them inside our borders because we pay less upkeep for them inside the borders, right? So we're going to move these guys up, and actually they will get the first upgrades. It's going to consume some wood. It's going to consume some of our training points, which is again another reason why you need a healthy supply of training points. Because look, each one of these upgrades that we're doing, yeah, that's going to cost us. I didn't hover over this long enough for you to see. It's going to cost us an order, 100 training points, and 150 wood. So why have I been building a bunch of lumber mills? This is the exact reason, because that's expensive. We knew it was coming, and now we ain't got to worry about it. Now, putting him on a hill will give him an extra point of range. That's urban flat. So from here, he would still be able to ding uh, guys that were coming around the mountain when they come. Yeehaw. So, yeah. Now, do any of these guys have a marksman promotion or eagle eye coming up? Because we can see what their promotions are, or what their promotions would be, and you can decide if you want to spend some training points to give them their thing. And no, the answer is none of those three do, and that's fine. But I wanted to check. Okay, and then this guy, for now, I'm just going to put over here on this hill. So he's a little separated, but remember, zone of control is a one tile radius, so this is still part of a ZOC lock, a zone of control lock. So even though there's a gap there, we just extended our ZOC field. So that's fine. And then we will put our handy dandy little horseman just kind of in the backfield, uh, so that if we need to use him, he can zip around and get in and mess. And he's only 10 points away from uh, we're going to give him focus. I want him to be able to critical better. So we're going to be able to zip around and get in here and cause all sorts of mayhem if needs be. And then I'll put my onager probably right here, or yeah, right here is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll be able to hit them as they come through the pass from here. Yeah, so that's fine. And that's, yeah, perfect. And then the spearman will be ready reserve. We'll just park him over here, also fortified. And then these guys, in the event of an attack, the army would come up here and they would start to fight these guys. And then these units would swing around and open up another front on them there while the onager pours fire on the group that's coming through. So let's focus on getting the onager as far uh, down this road as we can. So he'll be in position and unlimbered next turn, and that's great. And then let's focus on undoing this traffic snarl here. So let's get these guys kind of up where they go. I got a couple of onagers that will radically increase the, healer or herbalist rather. +4 from the heal action, getting back in the fight that much faster. Hell yeah. That's powerful. Did he not? Did that not do? Or was that not the guy? Or what happened there? I don't know. Okay, tough, because he's gonna take damage. So, yeah, okay. And then onager. No, no, see. And I'm actually a little bit torn here because I technically would want an archer here. Uh, and I'd want this guy. So if I put him here, 1, 2, 3, 4, he wouldn't be able to fire across the line, but he'd still be able to, because I want the archer here and they could fire right over the infantry. And then I want this guy one tile back. So I probably want to eventually move this onager out of the city center and just put an archer there, but he's fine where he is for now. Wait a minute. This was the guy. Did I just give a catapult? The herbalist? I did. I don't know that I like that. I think that would have been better as a besieger, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna back up the turn because the computer's already laggy, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, he would have probably. I thought I was upgrading the mace to an herbalist and not the catapult, but I don't think it's awful. Not the catapult has uh, the healing thing. It just would not have been my first choice, but that's fine. It's okay. And I want these guys on the coast like that. Okay, and we are out of orders entirely. So we will end the turn, and I want to show you next turn uh, how far, how 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 in a serious phase these guys could get from right there using that newly built waterway. I love it. Okay, had a governor die in office. Somebody converted to Greek paganism. That's shocking. We're not terrifying, so we pretty much have to do this, and we get some civics, which is okay. We spend a lot of money to get some civics, but you know, uh, okay. So the king is. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a Skype. Let me. Ah, Jennifer has told me that it is supper time. So I am going to stop this recording and we will pick it back up after dinner. So we'll leave everything. We're at the start of turn 114. So we're 20 years into the game at this point. We'll leave it here and I will be back after I have dinner with Jennifer. Okay, I am back from dinner, and the very first thing that I wanted to talk about now that we're back in the thick of things is the evolving threat matrix. That's important. That's an important concept. I remember originally when we first started playing, I just kind of arbitrarily set some unit numbers for these three zones that we've established. And I said I wanted a full-size battle group here, which was for me a minimum of 12 units backed up by 4 catapults. And we're getting there. We've got guys that we're moving up. But, uh, the situation now that we're putting the army into prepared positions, the situation has changed. For one thing, I'm going to need more than just 12 guys backed up by 4 catapults because, now that I'm looking at the realities of defending this strip of land, I want to run a defensive line from the Tyrrhenian Sea to the mountains. So there's no way he can get around my force to get to the city or any of that. So and I can do that. We're 1 unit away from having that closed up so that he can't come in at the city directly. He's got to deal with the battle group first. But see, by doing that and by putting in a secondary line of archers and onagers, that takes up all 12 of the units that I had originally planned. And and we know that there's likely to be a secondary assault from this direction. So we still need, yet more guys for over here, and we need some kind of a reserve. So we're going to need more guys. We're getting close to where we need to be, but we still need more guys because now that we're getting some facts on the ground, we have to flesh it out some. And there's a couple of different ways I'm going to do that. Like another thing too, the original calculus didn't include any flankers. We've got a couple now, so we'll be adding to that as well. But there's another component to that because if you'll notice, and I noticed this while I was eating dessert, um, the AI has seen what we're doing here and they've responded, right? They've responded by bringing in elephants because remember, I was talking about, hey, it's going to be really cool if we have at least one elephant because if we start pushing toward Assyrian cities and we find this one really annoying guy who's heavily fortified on a tile and he's going to be really super hard to get off, we can use our elephants to just make him move, break his fortifications, and kill him a lot easier. Well, lo and behold, the AI knows that trick too. And they have begun to produce elephants. And you can bet that when the shooting starts, rather than wasting a whole bunch of attacks trying to force us out of here, you can bet that these elephants will be coming down and trying to just make us move. So we're going to have to make some changes to our battle line. And right now, I've got these highly decorated axemen sitting up here, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them off the line. I'm going to pull them back behind everything, and they will kind of make up the backbone of our reserves. And I want to build some spearmen to put in their place. Why? Because spearmen are the counter to elephants. So, well, mounted units in general. Um, but yeah, spearmen work really well against elephants. So that kind of puts him in the same boat, right? Now he's got to make a choice. The elephants are going to die. If he brings if we have spearmen fortified to level 5, they will do the job that he wants them to do. They'll break the fortifications and force us to leave. But in doing so, they will they'll be completely wrecked and easy pickings for our archer fire and all that. So he countered us, we're going to counter him, and then eventually he'll counter us again. And probably what he will resort to at that point is, okay, well, if you're going to move spearmen up to your front rank, then we're going to start seeing some axemen appear because axemen are a good counter to spearmen. So we're never going to have a 100% ironclad, unbreakable wall for the first line of defense. There's a counter to everything, and they will get through. They'll punch a hole somewhere. That's not the point of the defensive wall. The point of the defensive wall is to make it so painful for them to punch that hole that there'll be easy pickings for us because that defensive line is the first layer of a multi-layered defense with ample reserves and all of that. So, we're counting on the fact that he will be able to make a hole. We're counting on the fact that we're going to lose people. The problem that the AI is going to have is we're going to be able to respond to all of that. So whatever ultimate shape his uh, attack force takes, we have an answer for it. Part of that answer comes from the fact that we're going to engineer a situation where the war happens when we have superior tech, superior military tech, and superior firepower. Part of that answer is going to be because for every type of unit that we see, we have a counter to, and part of that is going to be because we're simply going to outmaneuver him. And part of outmaneuver him sometimes means standing still because, for instance, when we started to build this force, we noted that the army that we could see in and around Tushpa was archer heavy. So we countered that by stationing all of our guys in trees, which immediately reduces the effectiveness of his archers by half. So if his archers are half strength and our longbowmen are full strength, that creates just an overwhelming advantage. And if you stack enough of those advantages in your favor, the outcome is preordained. You almost can't lose, even if you make a mistake. So yeah, that's the next order of business. And the goal for this video is to get the game into a state where I feel confident handing the save back to the original player and saying, okay, here's the army you need to beat this guy. You got this. And then I'll make a part 4 which will be kind of spoiler territory for the guy who sent the save in, where and here's how I would do it if I was gonna fight this war. And so that way in part 4 we will actually fight that war and you'll get to see how that kind of plays out. Um, but that's for later. For now, let's focus on battlefield shaping. We got some more of that to do, and part of that includes we're going to buy this tile and we're going to go home. Oh, we already bought that tile. And we can't buy this tile because he's parked on it. So this is as good as it's going to get in terms of my border buying. And I'm not terribly concerned about this, so we're just going to leave this. So this little guy is going to go back home starting like right now. We're just gonna, yeah. He's done pretty much everything that we could have hoped for as far as what he's accomplished for us. So he's going to go home. This guy is going to make the Roman chariot move and is going to continue harvesting wood, clear cutting these tiles, and shaping the battlefield so that we're forcing the Assyrians to walk across just open uh, open ground to to get to us, and that means there's no cover versus the ranged attackers that we'll have here that we don't have yet, and none of that. So he's going to be in a world of hurt before he even gets to these outlying farms near Thebes. And I firmly believe that the AI will try to do that. So we're gonna be ready for it. Now, how many onagers do we have in theater? We've got 3 right now, and I wanted 4, and we have one sitting back at what's his place at the city where we've been building all the troops. I kind of think I want to put an onager here because from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he could reach this entire field of fire, these 6 hexes, but he could also 1, 2, 3, 4. So anybody on the coast of the southern coast of the Tyrrhenian Sea, as they're like marching towards Thebes, so this guy from here could take some pot shots at them as well. So I think that's a pretty good location, and we'll have some guys out here that will prevent any uh, Assyrian units from slipping in and trying to mess uh, with our onager. And this guy is actually going to stop building uh, quarries for the moment because I'm going to come up here and clear cut this tile. And my last unit that I put on the line will go here. So I'm going to leave these forests. I'm going to leave that alone. Uh, in terms of ready reserves, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of these guys up. Archers, basically I'm pulling everyone off of the barracks and ranges that they're sitting on, and I will build replacements for them, and the replacements will go back on their respective training facilities, and that will be or at least part of our ready reserve. But uh, like for instance, we're going to need some additional archers up here to help fill this in. So I'm going to take those 2 archers and I'm going to put them like here so that, well, no, I'm going to put them here because there's going to be a spearman or something here. Uh, so yeah, we need the 2 archers here and here. I'm going to put this onager right here and unlimber him. So that gives us 3 onagers in place and unlimbered. Got archer here. Wait, put this guy. Now from here, this archer can't do anything useful. So we're actually going to move him over to here, right? Because he's not going to be able to do anything valuable uh, where he's All right, come on now. He's not going to be able to, he's only got a range of 2, so he's not going to be able to reach anything from where he's currently sitting. So we're going to put him here, and now he can fire over the heads of the dudes, but uh, we're going to upgrade him to a longbow because we can do that now. We're going to upgrade this guy to a longbow because we can do that now. Okay, and I'm running out of orders, so we're not going to, now, before I do anything else, let me check out our, okay, well, we're spending money like a drunken sailor, so we're going to need uh, some more money. I would like to get the point of charisma, but I'm going to take the happy because we've kind of been ignoring that uh, during all of this shenanigans. I'm going to build a mine here because we are in dire need of more metal. And we're running low on orders, but we're running low on. We've really stressed the economy like big time. What are you doing? Wood, and we're gonna need more wood. Okay, and this guy, uh, we need some more. Well, okay, we're gonna come here and oh, that's outside borders. Okay. Yeah, just buy it for Syracuse. It's the cheapest, and I don't really. Oh, and look at that. It actually closed in the whole smash. So cool. Yeah. So we'll put a mine there for some little bit of adjacency next go. But before we do, we've only got 2 orders left, and I still have a worker that I haven't given a job to, and I almost. She's already got a mission going. Okay. I almost don't care because we do. I've still got a mission going. For some reason, that's just a mental block. Okay, so we're not going to do anything with her, uh, but we need to focus on improving relations with our small council. I'd like to see some of these moving closer to green. Uh, let's see who we have candidate-wise for a governor. Okay. Uh, oh, candidates with jobs. Yeah, we don't want that. Ow. Yeah, I mean, I would love the order, but I don't know that it's worth $60. Well, this city already has legendary cult. Oh, this is growth. Okay, well, we're not as worried about growth. So we'll nix some of our growth here. That'll basically just mean they're slightly less good at making scouts, but okay, well, that should be fine. And we're out of order, so all we can do at this point is assign production. Now, in light of what I was talking about before with uh, the need for some additional spearmen to counter his elephants, I'm going to queue up a spearman. I'm actually going to queue up several, but right now that we can only afford the one. So we're going to queue up one for now, and that will be enough. Let's see. We have 2 other cities that are in need of production. Okay. We've only got 5 training points coming in next turn, and that's not great. So anything that these other cities, whatever they do, they will absolutely not be uh, training troops because we need those. We need to keep that training points positive. And in fact, I think I'm going to train an apprentice officer because that's going to give us some additional training points when he's done. Uh, when again, I'm not planning to turn Argos into a monster troop training facility for us, but having that officer there is still going to be helpful because every time we don't build a unit in Argos, then it just adds to this number. And right now we could use that. So yeah, we're totally doing that. Okay, and I don't have any orders to do any missions anyway, so we're done. We're done, and we're gonna let it ride. We got 39 orders coming in for next turn, and we do need to keep all the plates spinning. So we do need to do some quick checking to see how we're okay. Well, we need the relations with the religions aren't great. Yeah, we need to do something about this. And as soon as her mission, I don't even remember what her mission was, but as soon as her mission completes, we'll try to press the flesh or we'll send some gifts or we'll do something here. We may have to sell some resources to make that happen, but we need to keep this at the very least positive and preferably green. So this is going to be a major focus for the upcoming turn. And look, Assyria only had 37 orders, so we're pretty well. I mean that varies, of course, from you know moment to moment, game state to game state. Um, but it's worth noting that we're pretty much at parity in terms of orders. Okay, we were doing an influence mission and it was successful. Yes, let's definitely improve relations with the Zoroastrians. And again, when evaluating these bonuses, it's important to remember that the way the like right here when you move from 5 charisma to 6, you gain 10 civics. Well, the amount you gain increases the higher your score goes. So moving from -1 to 0, minor change. Moving from 0 to 1, minor change. Moving from 5 to 6, fairly significant change. So in general, I tend to gravitate to whatever's going to give me the biggest increase in whatever the resource in question is, civics in that particular case. All right. And now that this guy has cut the tree away from the forest away from here, this worker is going to also help prep the battlefield. Now, I actually want to keep uh, these forests like in right here adjacent to this hill, and I think probably these 3 in 2 tiles from the hill. So I can come here and cut trees. And I think what I okay, I have an idea. First, We're just gonna cut trees and scrub. Okay. Now let me, how do I want to do this? I think I want a road, and I want a road starting here and going here, here, and here. So it'll be a 4 tile road, and I want that. And I want that because by ending the road here, I'm ending it inside my borders. I'm ending it adjacent to my intercoastal waterway. And this will give me another very efficient movement track. So my guys who are using the intercoastal waterway to get the 9 tiles per point of fatigue, they hit here, bang, they transition to land, but they're on a road, and now they can keep going up, and I can use that to maneuver more efficiently. So we want that as part of the battlefield shaping. So that road will actually, it won't look like much from the Assyrian side, but it'll actually be very strategically important. So check this out though, right? This is my expeditionary force. They're just sitting down here on the coast. And from here at regular movement in a single turn, I can get them all the way up to here. I can get them all the way up to the front line here. Or we could really, I mean, we could actually invade Assyrian territory from Biscuit or Triclet or Crouton. That's the one. Yeah. So we could, I mean, our troops in Crouton could actually position themselves to invade and begin an assault on Tyria. So that's pretty freaking huge. And, the road is actually going to help them even more because the idea will be so hostilities start. We've got all this stuff prepped, so it's just big open ground. Main Assyrian force, dun, 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 come down this way. The secondary Assyrian force, dun, 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 comes over this way, and we let them come, right? We let them come because we're going to put a catapult on this conveniently located hill here. We're going to have some archers sitting here, and we're going to have some spearmen or axemen or whatever, or swordsmen sitting here. So these guys are dun, 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 coming. Meanwhile, Onager starts to open fire. They're getting closer. Our guys are getting a little nervous. Not really, but we're telling them to act like they're getting nervous. And then all of a sudden, when they think, oh, we're going to crush these dudes. Yeah, no, you're not, because we're going to get these guys right in behind you, and now you're dead and completely surrounded, and we win. So yeah, that's the value of this and the road and all of this stuff that we've been doing. That's what it's for ultimately, is so we can spring an extremely deadly trap on the Assyrians and then play some, spank the Assyrian when we're done with that. So that's the ultimate purpose behind it all, if that made sense. I hope so. I don't know. I hadn't slept in a while, so if it didn't, forgive me. Okay. Well, and we've got like 208 stone a turn now, so I think we can ease off the throttle there. But what we don't have is, and we've already come a pretty fair distance toward um, upgrading our archers to longbow. So I'm not as worried about that as I have been, although we definitely still need uh, some some more mines. But I think that we're in good enough shape at the moment that I can take my foot off the gas there and let's start really focusing in on mines because it's only 5 years away till we have cohorts, and we're going to need just an absolute crazy amount of metal to do all that upgrading. Now, if there is a silver lining, It lies in the fact that we're generating a bunch of stone right now. And if you look at the market prices for stone, stone is way more valuable than everything else. So we can actually sell some of our surplus stone to make up the difference and get the stuff we need because we've invested heavily in quarries, and that's gonna pay some dividends for us. But there's no point in relying on the market any more than we have to. So until we get the tech and are ready to do that, we're going to kind of transition away from, let's focus, go full throttle on quarries, and now we gotta make up some time on mines. So let's, wherever possible, let's do that. Now this guy, I think, is still going to keep making lumber mills because we're not going to magically stop needing wood after we finish the upgrading. Um, yeah, if we build ranges or there's a lot of buildings that require wood. If we want any more longbowmen, we're going to have to spend wood on that. So we're still going to need plenty of wood, but we won't need as much once we complete uh, the upgrade cycle. And I think before I move any of my troops, I want to check out. Yeah, okay. So like here, I'm going to build a moat because on the thinking that the tougher we make this city, the more we can rely on it as a fallback. So if he does start punching holes in our line and we have to fall back behind the city's just going to be that much more able to take the punch, and it can help fend off the enemy force until we can counterattack and heal up the guys, and we were ready to counterattack. But the more, and this also, building the moat counts toward our military strength. So that's going to be another thing that will help us reach parity uh, with the Assyrian military, which is still listed as stronger. Right? But we still got archers to upgrade and all of that. So I'm not hugely concerned that they're still showing stronger than we are because uh, we're not done yet. So yeah, let them. It's fine. But in the meanwhile, let's get these guys up here, right? And so I'm going to put a mix of mace and spears on the front line, and I'm going to pull all of our highly promoted axes back, and those will be the first guys that we upgrade to swordsman because they got all the spiffy promotions anyway. That's just going to make them that much more lethal. So heck yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, and this guy needs a promotion anyway. So let's move him. Let's promote him. We'll give him focus 2. And can we upgrade after a promotion? I don't. Yes, so we'll do that. Okay, so yeah, that's a big promotion actually. Okay, and then so this is our 5th catapult, right? We got 1, 2. No, let me zoom in so I can see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to reroute this guy to the hill, and then this guy. So that gives us 6 onagers in the zone because we'll just designate the 6th one as for the over here force, which we still don't have yet, but I ain't worried about it. We will. I'm gonna move this chariot up here, and his job, the chariot's entire reason for existing is going to be targets of opportunity. So like when the fighting starts and we're unleashing hell with the onagers and we're causing all this splash damage and all this. Well, if we see an opening where there's like a whole bunch, four or five or whatever, really weak, banged up Assyrian units, that's going to be the Chariot's job. Chariot's going to go in there and get his charge attack and just pick them off, like by twos and threes at least. So if the opportunity presents itself, Chariot's going to swing out there and just do the cleanup work for us, and kill a bunch of really badly wounded units. And if no such opportunity presents itself, then at the very least we've got him as an emergency unit we can plug in to, if a hole develops in the line, or if we're getting seriously pressured on one flank or the other and we need a little bit more reinforcements to support. Great, Chariot can do that too, because he's got the mobility to just go wherever we need him. And from here, he'll be able to reach. He'll be able to support this entire battle line. He'll also be able to provide some fire support over here if things get dicey over this way. So we can just leave him right there and he can get wherever we need him to go. So that's pretty handy. But unfortunately, that took all of our orders again. So we didn't get to do any of that other stuff I was talking about last time. I gotta be I gotta pay more attention to that because yeah, that stuff's kind of important. Okay, so we're gonna get 12 training. We don't want this guy to do anything troop related, even though we could use some more troops up here. Um, So yeah, I'm just going to set him to build a forum because it's going to give us an extra point of civics. Won't take that long to build. We've got plenty of stone, and it's not going to take troop training points. So go us. It's a cheap and easy build that we can knock out quickly, and it will provide some benefit. Although not a lot. Forums aren't really a great build, but they're a decent build when you're in those in between times where you don't want to commit to anything really big or long term. You just want to put something to keep the city cooking on, things that will help you, and civics will definitely help us. And at the same time, we'll be able to shift gears pretty quickly and do something else if the situation changes, because 4 years, that's nothing. Okay, so let's see what the new year brings. And first thing, before we get mired in troop movements and other shenanigans, first thing we're gonna shore up relations with the Sages family because we don't want to let that problem fester. We want to. Oh well. That, oh, we influenced her. That's right. So that did help a little bit, but we want to do more with that. I mean, we're out of immediate danger, and that's great. But before we go to war with anybody, Assyria included, um, we want the sages to be green, not bland, murky, lukewarm yellow. So we definitely have some work to do on that front. And our relations with the Persians have decayed. Oh no, that's with Judaism. Okay, so we'll have to check to see the score with Persia itself. One thing that would benefit us greatly is running tolerance and then switching to Zoroastrianism so we can, well, that would actually improve our relations with Assyria again, but I'm not terribly, terribly worried about that. Okay, adding a mine in Thebes would definitely, ooh, new scholar. Yeah, our science is, well, Okay. I would love the mind, but I would love the science even more. Okay, well, he's not much of a scholar. That's okay. We'll take him. Point to point. Uh, yeah, we're not doing any of that. We got to stay focused on the task at hand. Okay, so first thing, let's take care of our yeah, see this is kind of down. So let's can we do can we do okay, well let's influence you for a start. Oh, mission is already active. It's the Zoroastrian thing. Okay, well that's fine. Uh family gifts. Yeah, let's send some family gifts to the sages. Let's yeah. I want to start diplomatically isolating uh, Syria. I want, I mean, Babylon already doesn't like them, and that's good because, see, I have no intention of fighting fair when we eventually declare war on Assyria. Oh, I'm gonna pay Babylon to declare war on them too, and I'll do that like half a dozen turns before we declare war. So that'll give Assyria plenty of time to muster up their troops and march them off over to Babylon, and Babylon give them time to get their troops marching toward Assyria, and they'll be fighting a little bit, and their armies will be all spread out and in disarray, and then we declare war and jump in the party too. And if it comes to pass that Assyria is so busy fighting Babylon that they don't send an attack force or a serious force down here to threaten our guys, great. Then we'll skip that first part and just take over Tushpa, So we win either way. But yeah, we want to we're not going to fight fair. We're going to use every dirty trick in the book. And we've got all these well, we've got a couple of agents established. And oh yeah, we're going to totally run sabotage missions and blow up their walls and do other nasty things to them while we're, invading because why not? Right? All's fair. So yeah, when the show starts, we're just going to pull out all the stops. We're going to go all out on destroying or denting the heck out of Assyria, and I think it's going to be a load of fun. It's going to be cool. Now this guy was building spearmen because we need to uh, bulk up the number of spears we have on the battle line, and we can't do that because why? Because we're one iron short. So we'll just buy the iron we need. And now we've cratered that, but we have another spearman, and that's a goodness. Let's go ahead and queue production. Oh, we got the thing. So yeah, our training points are slowly coming back up, and I think we're just going to go ahead and upgrade him one level for now. I don't I we don't have a lot of spare training points. I'd love to build another spearman or whatever, but yeah, we're just not in that place right now. So we're going to spend civics um, rather than training points. We are almost out of food. What would this give me? This is my best food producing thing. What would this? Okay, so it'll give me another 10 food and 2 more growth, which would actually help offset that governor that we put in place. Hurts our growth a little bit. So, I mean, that's not a great play, but we need the food and we don't really have a lot of we don't have a lot of food specials. We've got, what are you doing? Haven't you been working? Oh, yeah, you have been working on that and you're done. Okay, well, good. Come over here and give me some more food. Yeah. We'll have a conscript in one. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cancel these walls for now. And I'm going to queue up 2 more conscripts, like right behind the one that's about to be done, right? And then we'll build walls. And the walls are probably not needed, but I don't want to have to worry about this town. I mean, Assyria has a bigger navy than we do. And if they decide to get testy and send some people down here, I want the city to be able to hold out with just a conscript until we can get guys down there to, fix it. So, but anyway, this first conscript, as soon as he's built, we're going to send him out to Argos, and then we're going to free up that archer to go, do things on the front line. Speaking of which, how many more archers do we have left to upgrade? Let's just do it from the military screen. I want to do that before we start moving people around because I don't want to forget. So we've got 4 archers to go. Yeah, actually, let's start with the expeditionary guys because this is my secret weapon, right? The the force up there in Thebes, they are the demonstration force. We're showing our hand to Assyria. This is what we got. Aren't we badass? And Assyria is responding to that. You saw they started building the elephants because they saw what we were doing. Um, but this is the card we have face down on the table. They don't know about this. So yeah, let's make them nice and strong. We'll go ahead and upgrade these guys before we move them, um, so that they're just ready to rock and roll and they're upgrade in their upgraded configuration. Why? Oh, because we're out of wood, but that's no problem because I am Mr. Moneybags. Well, Mr. Stonebags anyway. And yeah, so we got plenty of money and we'll just do that. And now, oh, wait, we got what? Oh, we got all these guys. No, oh, he was the guy that I renamed. So he just kept his name, Archer. Or okay, we're gonna have to change that then. Okay. And then same with these guys. Uh, okay. Well, that makes sense because once you rename it, it keeps the name that you assign to it, even if you upgrade them later. So, okay. So just to confirm then, we have no archers remaining. Every archer that we had has been upgraded to a longbow. Now that's progress. Okay, and that was enough by itself before we even get to swordsman, which we'll have in 4 years. That did it. that was enough to bring us from weaker than Assyria, them showing as stronger, to similar. So from here, it's just gravy because from here, I mean, when we up and we'll leave the spearmen that we put on the front line, they'll stay spearmen because we need some spearmen because he's got elephants now. So we're going to need some of those. But all these axemen, yeah, they're going to become swords for sure. And so that's one, two. Well, actually, let's just look instead of me scrolling around the map. Let's just take a look here. So we're looking at least seven, and I don't know what the sacred band is. Are they a spear? Okay, they're a spear. So yeah, seven axemen upgrading to uh, swords in 4 years. That's going to probably crater our stone surplus, but I think that would be well worth it because that's going to give us just an incredible infusion of, you know, sudden surge in uh, military power. Now, I think what I want to do is I'm going to use this guy to cut the scrub and then clear cut the tile and then move to the next one, right? And he's going to cut the trees, not cut the cheese, cut the trees, clear cut the land, and then he's still got a point. No, yeah, okay. So then he's going to move again. And and I wanted to do those tiles in particular because that's where the road goes. So we want this guy just to be able to, no, this guy, computer's getting laggy again. That's frustrating. And I did some investigation between games, and I believe what is the reason for the periodic lag is uh, the XSplit that I'm using to stream this doesn't play nicely with Old World for some reason, and so it over time it progressively starts eating up more and more memory, and eventually the computer's just like, yeah, I'm done. So yeah, we may have to this before I'm ready to hand off the save, we may find ourselves in a situation where I have to reboot the computer again, and if so, I'll just splice the videos together so it'll be seamless for you who are watching, but it may require a little bit of wizardry on the back end to keep it from being overly laggy. But we'll see how it goes. I'd rather not have to jump through the extra hoops if I can get away with it, but I also don't want the game to start malfunctioning and being weird and all that. So, okay, we're gonna and now we're done with um, we're not gonna we're not done with wood, but we're done with the upgrade cycle. So we're not gonna have this big immediate crush for demand for wood. And we're gonna need wood to do stuff, but the upgrading is done, and that's the big hurdle. So we can we had two guys working on lumber mills. We can now get away with just one, I believe. And now that this guy has finished his barracks, I'm actually going to jump up here and start making more mines because we're running out of time. And we need to get that metal production cooking like yesterday. And again, the good thing is, we've got a healthy surplus of stone, so I don't think we're going to have a problem paying for the upgrades. But at the moment, we have zero metal, so we totally need to uh, increase that. Okay. And this guy, I was going to move to the hill. We can get him there, but he won't be able to unlimber. And from the hill, he's going to have a range of 5. So check out this field of fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as he steps past that urban tile, oh, we got him. We got him. So yeah, that's just going to be deadly. All right, that was a pretty good turn. We didn't get as much accomplished as I would like to have, but we still, I mean, I'm calling that a win, you know, calling that a win. Oh, look at a fancy siege tower up there. Those are those are hatefully dangerous, and Assyria is my favorite civ to play, and there is nothing more evil because a siege tower can knock down an unwalled city in like 2 hits, and 2 siege towers can knock down a walled city in 2 hits apiece. So, I mean, siege towers are just hateful, and there's nothing more evil than playing Assyria and building a good intercoastal waterway and keeping your siege towers back so that your opponent can't see them. And then, just burning some extra orders with forced marches and just showing up right outside the city and blowing the doors off the city in one shot, or one round of combat. And the AI is like, what just happened? Yeah, that just happened. It's hateful. I love it. And combine that with the fact that Assyria gets bonus orders each time they kill a military unit. So you spend an order to launch an attack, which kills a guy, and it gives you 2 orders. So now you have more orders than you had when you started. And multiply that by 50 attacks. Okay, well now you've got 100 new orders. So hi, and you can just keep going forever with Assyria. And that's, you know, that plus the scary good siege towers plus the extra chance to score a critical hit. And yeah, Assyria can just make enemy armies vanish. It's just like magic. It's crazy. So I absolutely love playing Assyria. They're fun. Dwindling line. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's check out the family situation. No, let's check out the family situation. Here we go. Okay. So, uh, who is this guy? He's a judge. I like leaders with lots of wisdom, but if I can't have that, judges are really not a bad second choice. This guy's the scholar. He's not bad. She's greedy. I do not want. She's out just because she's greedy. He actually has no negatives associated with him whatsoever, and he's cruel. That is okay. So just from a pure, who's got the better stats for me? It would be this guy. But what's that going to do with my familial relate? Yeah, okay. So we're going to have to do some more cozying up to. So that made the patrons really happy, and the artisans are so tickled with us that it didn't matter. But these guys were kind of on the border anyway, and it just really didn't help. Although we do have a family gifts mission that should finish soon if it hasn't already. Yeah, okay, it's active, so it'll finish soon, and that will at least help. We don't have any luxuries we can dole out, so we're kind of hamstrung there. Uh, one thing that we could do this turn, I may do this. Let's just let's just see. So what would happen if we converted to Zoroastrianism? Okay, so that, yeah, and these guys they didn't even care. So that was sufficient to we boosted relations with the Zoroastrian guy. That brought them to positive. Uh, yeah, so that helped at least in that regard. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Uh, Solver again with the, yeah, let's do it. I like it. Incite some unrest. Make the Assyrians, uh, make them uneasy. Okay. She becomes impious. No, we don't want that. Uh, yeah, okay. That's fine. I mean, it's not really my first choice, but okay, we can do that. Uh, we need to we need to uh, let's see. Yeah, let me see what it would do. I may take this back. I don't know. I want to just evaluate the choices here. Okay. That, oh, look at us go. Look at us go. Okay, so everybody's happy or happy-ish. They're not totally tickled, but they're okay. These guys, their relationship with us got dented a little, but they're still like super happy. So we're fine. Um, do we? I don't think we have the law that we can. No, it's, yeah. We need. What do we need? We need doctrine. Okay, so We need that needs to, after we get uh, cohorts. This probably should be our next thing because all of the families, well, two of the families and Zoroastrianism would appreciate that. So that would give us a big boost. Uh, yeah. So doctrine needs to be pretty high on our list of uh, things. Yeah. Okay. So that kind of, that was a good turn in terms of diplomacy. That was important because uh, we solved what had become kind of a persistent problem. And honestly, I mean, we were pagan, and that's fine, whatever. But Zoroastrianism is uh, kind of run rampant through the ranks of our people anyway. A lot of our family members had already adopted it, so I think we just kind of bent to the will of the people in that regard, So, and uh, weirdly enough, that put us very much back in good standing with the Assyrians for whatever reason. So, well, because they have the holy city, they founded that religion and we adopted it. So, yeah, he likes us again, but yeah, I'm still wanting to kick his butt. So we'll keep that in mind but for now, it buys us more time to get ready. So that's good. And we're going to do another spear because we're going to need several. And I think, yeah, we still don't, we have the metal shortage problem. So we're going to have to just keep buying for now. but we are up to a plus 37, so that's helpful-ish. And we're going to continue to build more mines. And now that you've finished with that part of the clear cutting, let's just go ahead and build the road. I'm going to set both of these guys to building a road tile, and then the road is just done this year. Okay. So now, now that the road is done, let's take a look again at our spearman here and just see where could he get to now that that road is done. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes, indeed. So we can go absolutely anywhere in this entire area in one move. And that means we could slip right in behind the invasion force with all of this and just position ourselves exactly where we need to be. So that's the thing of beauty. So this was a huge macro level project. And I think it was worth every penny. And I'm tempted to come up and buy these last couple of tiles out, but you know what? I think next turn I'll just clear cut these so that there's no trees to hide in. Not that we can shoot quite that far anyway, but yeah, we'll clear cut those and we'll continue. Clear cut, we'll get rid of all this scrub and then we'll clear this out and probably this. And then we'll leave the others so we have our guys sitting in forested tiles. Oh, and we need to unlimber this catapult so that it's ready to fire on anyone who approaches from this direction. That's a thing of beauty. I love it. I freaking love it. Okay, now things are starting to shape up. I feel like I feel like we're getting it done now. Okay, so our first swap is going to happen right here. I am pulling this axeman off the line on that. No, not there. Back it up. Because this guy goes here and unlimbers right. This guy comes back to here. Maceman goes up and fortifies. This guy comes off the line. Maceman goes up, fortifies. Yeah, okay. Now, this guy comes up. This guy comes up. Get in here to Chicklet. I'm going to take our little conscript and move him over here. And they'll be without a garrison for a turn, but I don't care. And yeah, yeah. Okay. Now what is uh let's arrange a foreign marriage. I want to knowing that I because Babylon, yeah, Babylon, they've got a similar sized army to our own. So they're a peer. It's us, Babylon, Assyria, and yeah, that's it. And because we're now stronger than the Persians, and we're now much stronger because he's still got crap tech than the Romans. So, from a purely pragmatic point of view, what we would do at this point, I I would think the easiest way to win this game at this point would be to just make I mean we have a religion in common with Assyria. We're already on good terms with them. We've got peace with Babylon. We can continue to improve that relationship. So from a purely pragmatic point of view, the easiest way to win this game would be to when we get the army built, just reposition it on the border with the Persians and just just outright conquer them. So we would, we'd want to spend some time doing some infiltration, like we did, with the Assyrians. But I mean, we already know that they're weaker than us, so it would not take much to reposition for that. We would uh, we would move this secondary force uh, from the capital down to Heraclea. We would leave the expeditionary force here, or maybe move it over to Athenea, and then we would put the main attack force right here in Argos. And depending on what uh, infiltration revealed, that would tell us where we would want to go first. But honestly, this is the Persian capital right here. So that's where I would be inclined to go first, right? Whatever this little city is, we just nuke it off the map. We fend off whatever counterattack he has, and then we take the capital, and that's pretty much the end of Persia at that point. So if I were going to make a recommendation to the person who sent the save file in originally, my recommendation would be, I mean, I get it. You might have some lingering animosity toward Assyria because they jumped you, they mugged you, and that's what prompted you to send the save in the first place. But given the way that this particular game has unfolded, and given the fact that we really are on good terms with Assyria now, if you want the easy, deeply satisfying uh, win of just crushing a weaker opponent, kill Persia. They're right next door. It would not be hard. It would be tedious to relocate the army for a few turns. You'd have to, slog a bunch of units across the map and whatever. But I mean, that's a one-time thing, and once that's done, you're done. And Persia is, hey, the Persians would just evaporate under the army that we've built here. They're listed as weaker, uh, and even though they've got similar tech, I mean, it seems clear from looking at the units that they're wandering around with. I mean, they literally have a warrior in our territory. Okay, well, I can tell you that a swordsman would absolutely laugh at this guy and like flick his wrist vaguely and he would fall over dead. So, if that's the best they can throw it at us, yeah, this would be a short fight. And this city doesn't even have walls. Look, I mean, my God, you could walk in there with longbowmen. You wouldn't even need catapults to take this city. So, yeah, these guys would be pushovers to take. Um, you could conquer the entire kingdom and then win the game halfway through the war. So, uh, and granted, they've got 19. They've got how many cities? How many cities do they have? Does it show? Yeah, it shows here. So four, five. They got six. They've got six cities and two Well of Wonder and the Temple of Solomon. Uh, but that counts. So the culture would reset. So all those cities would be weak when you took them. So you'd have +6 and then +8, +10. So conquering Persia would give you a 10. That would catch you up with Assyria right there. And then your cities, of course, would start generating culture per turn. And you could, we're actually going to start transitioning back to building cultural improvements. And that's going to cause our cities to grow their culture levels more quickly. And in fact, this one looks like it's about to pop over to legendary anyway. So we're going to see our score. Series has been widening the gap while we've been, in the 20 something turns, we've been focused on military matters. But honestly, we kind of had to play catch up. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think that was an avoidable delay. You were going to have to spend this time building the military anyway. Now, you may have done it piecemeal rather than do a crash build program like we did, and then that would have enabled you to weave in some cultural improvements while you were doing that. But yeah, this was going to have to get built regardless. So, I mean, yes, Assyria pulled ahead, and yes, they are still very much beatable. Uh, there's at this point, it's your game to win. Uh, but I will finish up here and then get this game to a point that I would feel comfortable handing it back to you and saying, you know, here you go. This is if you want to kick Assyria's butt, this will let you do it. If you want to win some other way, culturally or by crushing Persia or whatever, sky's the limit. So, but we're not quite there yet. We're almost. Oh, we're so close. I want to basically, I want to finish. I want to get cohorts, get your axemen upgraded to swordsmen, and do the final little bits of uh, battlefield shaping and troop positioning, and then I would feel 100% comfortable handing this save file back and just saying, you can win any way you want to from here. And why is our training points? Why have they turned negative? I do not like that. Oh, well, I know why. Or I think I do. I'll double check because I think our advanced troops require per turn training points upkeep. So I believe we have uh, a little problem there. So we are going to have to spend some time building some more specialists and working on some more barracks and ranges and stuff like that because we definitely do not want this negative. This number needs to be green all the time. All the time. Let's see. Well, she's humble and she's really not charismatic at all. Okay. I. They're willing to give us science to get her off of their hands. But she does come with a point of wisdom. Okay, well, she's not very charismatic, but by all means, let's do it. We'll take her 15 science as a dowry. We'll take her +1 wisdom, and we'll call that a win. And that'll, okay. So she can either have, yeah, I want the wisdom. Give me that sweet, sweet research. Uh-oh. Will take my secrets to my grave. Uh, yeah, well, we're about to die, so it doesn't really matter that she's disappointed. Um, that won't matter for long, but we'll definitely do it. Uh, can we afford to take a hit? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes, we certainly can. Yeah, okay. So they're just going to have to be pissy about it for a little bit. Uh, I'm going to take the culture because she's going to be the ruler here soon. Uh, yeah, science, science, science. Okay, so this guy is just going to step over here and clear cut trees. This guy, clear cut scrub. And cut some more scrub. Same thing. Okay, I am really liking the way this battlefield is taking shape. This is, yeah, this is looking good. Okay. Now we'll put this spearman up here. We'll fortify. We'll bring our longbow up. We'll pull our highly promoted soldier off the line. We'll bring our spearman up. Okay. So these guys will serve as our reserve, right? We got 3 We got 3 units of reserves. They'll be swordsmen in a couple of years. So the idea would be Assyria crashes into the line, which these fortification levels will improve year over year. The elephants may knock a couple of them out of position, so they'll probably die, but more or less the line will hold. We will get some splash damage on under fire. We'll get some more precision targeted longbow fire. Our guys can attack from their fortified positions, the ones that don't get moved off or killed. And then we'll have three swordsmen and a chariot who can step into the fray and clean up and counterattack and reinforce as needed. So this is ready. We're done. This is ready. Now we just need 2 more archers and 3 more infantry for here. And do I see any elephants over here? I do. So we're going to want at least 1 spear and then 2 axes or swordsmen for here. So we'll build the spearman first. Well, we got a spearman coming. So we'll build 1 more spearman. And then, no, no. We'll build a longbow next, and we'll park him on this range, and he'll be one of our reserves, so that if things get dicey, we can pull these guys off of their perches and send them into the fray. Yeah. That's what we'll do. Okay, so that's done. Oh yes, we had to uh, get our conscript put into his garrison spot. So Argos is happy again, or happier. They've got their thing. This longbowman is actually destined for over here. We'll put him just in front of the catapult, these 2 tiles. Uh, yeah, because we'll have and this conscript says 5 years, but that's actually not true because this is going to give us the 2 growth, and that's going to compress this time, and then we're going to come over and build another one, and that's going to shrink it further. So this is actually not 100% accurate, and that's good. That'll happen faster than it looks like it will. So let's take a look. Yeah. So we built the moat here. Okay. Now we need, uh, do we have we don't have any troop improvements here, do we? No. Okay. Then we'll build some stone cutters. And when we get our workers back, we'll start working on a barracks or something up here so we can nudge this number higher again. That's a no-brainer. We're in the negative. We don't need to be in the negative. So we're going to get officers here. That'll boost the number higher. And yeah, we were just going to build this is flat ground, but we need the triangle for the adjacency thing. So it's not going to be a great mine, but it'll make the other 2 better, and that's not nothing. Okay. And this, and that really is a good quarry, but I think I'm going to do another mine here to make another triangle. Okay. And I haven't done anything with our scouts in a while or our ship, so I think I'm going to burn the last two orders. And I see, okay. And before we go check that out, though, I just want to bust the fog away from this coast so I can see, you know, are there any more ships hiding here? What do we have? Yeah, not really. Okay. He has an impressive fleet, though. I mean, bigger than our Navy. Okay. So we're taking steps to increase our training counts. We're 2 years away from swordsmen. We've got our main battle group pretty well organized. We've responded to the changing composition of the Assyrian army. They introduced elephants, so we reorganized the front line to incorporate more spears, and we pulled back our highly decorated troops to use them as a reinforcement. And they'll be the first ones. They'll get upgrade priority when we get cohorts. Um, so yeah, we're we're 90% ready. Our families are all happy with us. Um, we need to. I was actually gonna try to do a rally troops to get some more training points, but I don't know that she would live long enough to complete that. So I didn't want to spend the orders on it because if she dies, then we just lose the mission. So, oh, she made a recovery. Oh my goodness, that's great. Yeah, okay. Um, we can turn that into a win. Let's just claim it was for them all along. And okay, so she's foolish, but you know what? She's at the tail end of a reign, and that's fine. So she's foolish. Uh, yeah, man. Let's finish this up and then get back to building the economy. This has been really, really major undertaking, but I'm so glad that I got to do a video where this was, I mean, this was central to the strategy for as far as I'm concerned. So that this was huge, and I love the fact that I got to show how all of those pieces, kind of fit together and create a cohesive strategy, an overarching strategy using workers to shape the battlefield, the emerging, the changing threat matrix, designing the zone defense system, and then designing the teams that go into each zone. I love that stuff. It's one of my favorite aspects to the game is to, and it's a dance. It's a dance, a little like a ballet with troops and pointy objects and stuff. And I think that's an endlessly fascinating uh, aspect of the game. So I am thrilled that I got to do a video on it and really show, like from start to finish, how to put all that together. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Actually, we can get an adjacency bonus off of their camp. So let's do that. I think we can. Uh, Maybe not. No, we didn't. We got the adjacency bonus because we got a point 0.5 bonus, but it was off of our own lumber mill. So apparently we cannot. But I mean, that's okay. That's fine. Gonna make you move. I'll get some more wood. And now, okay. So, we're not going to build a moat here because I honestly, if Syracuse ever comes under threat, we probably have already lost the game. So I'm going to pause and just build an apprentice officer because, and we really need more food. Okay. Uh, I'll do this for half an order. And how many food tiles we can improve? Yeah, okay. And that'll give us 3 more land tiles to play with. Well, let's do that and start getting some food. And we can put farmers on these tiles here in the farm belt too. And we need to because yeah, our economy, we've started to run some negatives. And I've been pushing the economy hard and that comes with the territory, but we really have to keep an eye on that because the last thing that we want, when you're going to war, you don't want to have to worry about the economy. So we've got to focus on that nuts and bolts stuff, get those numbers up, and then keep them up during the war. That's the balancing act, right? Because you got to have orders to move your troops, but you can't let the economy wither on the vine either. So you got to have at least some orders to do that. So it's a balancing act. The only, yeah, the ship. That's the only thing I really care about right now as far as the scout stuff goes. I mean, we do need to infiltrate some more Assyrian cities, and we absolutely will. But I think that would be something that I could easily leave for the original player to do and not focus on getting the troops where they got to go. Okay, so Assyria is wailing on the Vandals, but the Vandals are actually seem to be holding their own. Uh, so Assyria is having a really hard time taking out this barbarian camp, which is cool because that could give us an opportunity, right? I mean, we're already at war with the Vandals, are we not? I think. Yes, from like 100 years ago. Yeah, yeah. So we're already at war with them. Uh, okay. It would not take a monumental effort. So one, oh, wait, we're at peace with uh okay, we're at peace with Assyria, so I think we could leverage their borders, but even if we couldn't, let's just even say that we're just not going to do that because reasons. So one, two, three, boat. One, two, three. One, two, three, boat. So we're here, and that takes 2 boats. So yeah, with 3 ships, maybe 4 at the absolute most, we could daisy chain those together and create our own land bridge like the anchor zone like the Assyrians have done here. We could do the same thing, but like from the south, and just take this right out from under them. I mean, they're focused on Assyria, right? They've got all their guys up here. They're presumably wailing on them. I don't know. Are they? Are they still fighting? Maybe they're not. Uh, we just go to the Vandals and see, right? Okay, they're at truce right now. Well, we're not. Yeah, we could actually just build another settler and slide right in there and take that right out from under them, and that would give us how many? So they've got 6, 8, 9, 10. They have 11 cities to our 9. Well, this would give us a tenth. And the reason that they're ahead is because they've got 3 legendary cities to our, uh, we've got 3 legendary cities. So, yeah, why are they ahead? Let's take a closer look at this. So, uh, they've got 6 strong. Oh, you know what? I bet you they've got 3 wonders. They've got the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, uh, the Burzin, what's his face, and the lighthouse. So, okay, so that most of their lead comes in the form of wonders because we've actually got uh, a comparable number of legendary cities. So, and then all of theirs that aren't, or most of theirs that aren't legendary are strong, whereas we've got most of our cities that aren't legendary are developing. So, but that the good news is that it doesn't take terribly long to go from developing to strong. So, like once we finish building conscripts and stuff, we can do an Odeon and a couple of basic improvements, and this thing will start rocketing up the culture chart too. Uh, and these guys, same thing. You know, we right now we were building barracks and we were kind of doing the mine thing up here, and we're going to keep doing that. But when we're done with that, which won't take very much longer, then yeah, same thing. Odeons and eventually some Colosseums, and then these two rocket up the and Eritrea, which is yeah almost to strong culture anyway. So yeah, it would not take a monumental effort to catch up with Assyria. And I kind of like Babylonian forces just sort of hanging out on the Assyrian border. That's fun. Okay, so let's get. Do we need any more? Are we going to do any more moving around? No, I've still got one axeman on the front line, and that's fine. But it's spear, mace, mace, spear, spear, mace. So most of our front line is a mix of mace and spear, backed up by onagers and longbow. Got 3 reserve units and a chariot. And then these guys are heading this direction. And next year, we will have the beginnings of a secondary defensive line. And then, yeah, so we have another chariot, but I think he's actually just going to stay here and he'll become part of the expeditionary force. Let's just, yeah. So we'll formally designate him as part of the expeditionary force and we'll just leave him right there. Okay. Uh, you are already unlimbered, so you can just go to sleep where you are. You're already unlimbered, so you can go to sleep right where you are. Chariot, we have him where we want him. I'm taking the time to review all of this and put them to sleep if they are where they're going. I refer to that when I'm playing my own games. I refer to this as putting my toys away. So See, and this is a good thing I did that because this catapult was not unlimbered and he needs to be. So excellent. And then we'll put him to sleep. This guy, we're just going to skip because we'll be upgrading him next year. This guy is okay. So let's put cavalry up here, and then we'll put you right here. Okay, and that gives him, he can fire as far, he's on a hill, which gives him the +1 range, so he can fire over here. And then this spearman will just be a ready reserve. We can plug him in here or whatever, and yeah, I mean this line, this group is not going to see any serious action. I am not. Yeah, they probably didn't need to be strengthened beyond what they were, but I like having slack in the system. I would rather have more guys than I need and have a cushion, and then we win with ease, versus having less guys than I need and find myself scrambling. How the hell are we even going to survive this fight? One of those is a good place to be in. One of them is not. So, however many guys you need, add more just to be on the safe side. Okay, so other than food, which we're currently working on, all of our economic factors are back in the green, some of them rather comfortably back in the green. Looking at you, Stone. Um, yeah, so we're sitting pretty. Okay, let's take a look. This will probably be the last turn of this video because I think I can get. Uh, okay, we can get a free onager in a year. Hell yeah, we're doing that. Uh, yes, let's do the intercession. Upgrade the son-in-law to intelligent. Yeah, I think we can get everything situated pretty much where we want it this year. So I don't know that there's going to be a tremendous amount of value in belaboring the point, so to speak. I think we'll just, I mean, you can, I think at this point you can pretty well see where we're heading in terms of, what we're about, what we're trying to do, why we made the decisions that we made. Um, so I'll take this turn. I'll leave some final thoughts about what I would do in final preps for the war, and then I'm gonna save the game, stop this video, send the save file, give the save file back to Soren, and see if he can get it to the fellow who sent it in originally. And then, episode 4 will continue, and I'll do the war my way, and then but that way the original owner of the save can try his hand at it, decide, what he wants to do, and see how it goes. Hmm. Okay. Uh, Actually, you know what? Well, Heraclea has legendary culture. What does the cold baths give us? Happiness. How we doing on that? Okay. Okay. Well then, let's actually we're kind of transitioning away from focusing on 100% on raw materials. I mean, we still want to do that in a lot of different places, but oh wait, we need a stronghold here, don't we? Yeah. So let's figure out, okay, where would be a good place? Well, actually, right next to the thing. Let's put the stronghold right here. Okay, that's half an order. We could use some more orders, so we'll do that. This guy, uh, we have a farmer that we could build. Oh, yeah, yeah, on the sorghum. Absolutely. We need the food. Okay. And then over here, we're doing the miner here because we want the luxury. That'll give us another card we can play if relations with one of the families starts to go sideways. That gives us something we can respond with. So that's big. And we still got 20 orders. So let's make sure that all of our dudes are more or less where we want them. Okay, this is going to be expensive. I'll just say that up front. We're going to take this down to 14 and change. Now we're going to, oh, wait a minute. No, I do not wish to sell my iron. I wish to buy. We're going to need 1400 to do the upgrades. Yeah, so we're going to need more. Okay, done. Okay, so let's make this happen. Upgrade the sword. Upgrade the sword. Upgrade the sword. And from here, we're going to use the military roster. And yeah, you, you. I'm going to upgrade him anyway, even though he is on the front line. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm out of training. Okay. Well, one thing, she was sick and now she is not sick. So let's rally the troops and we will get uh, a nice infusion of training points in a couple of years. And I want to find out what this is. This an island? Is this part of a larger continent? What are we doing here? What is this place? Because this is an opportunity right here. We can if we can what are you? Are you a ranged guy, club thrower, whatever? Yeah, you have a range of 2. So we want to end our move not at a range of 2 from the coast. Okay. But what this is telling me is that we could totally 1, 2, 3 boat. So we could anchor here. That would give us 2 landing tiles, or 1, 2, 3 boat. We could anchor here and have 3 landing tiles. And yeah, okay. So we could just crush these guys. Uh, Good to know. I mean, that's a 10th city right there, without even having to go to war with anybody except the Vandals who we are already at war with. So yeah. Uh, okay, let me finish putting away my toys. Right. This guy is eventually going to go uh, over here. He'll go right there, and then we'll go spear, sword, or sword, spear. Anyway, 2 more infantry here. So then we've got this guy that can shoot all the way out to here. These guys got protection from enemy missile fire. We got 2 archers backing them up. So we'll have 3 ranged units that can support the 3 infantry. Plus we've got this guy. Plus we've got the 3 swordsmen, and this guy can because of the waterway, he can actually get in and around and behind and all that. Plus, we've got the expeditionary force that can totally get up here in a single turn. So it doesn't, at the from what Assyria sees, they see, oh, you got 6 guys there. Well, we could bum rush them and take that position and threaten Thebes from the south. And and then this is what they don't see. So no, they can't, because that's, yeah, deadly. So, secret weapon. So for now, we're going to put him to sleep because we're waiting on the conscript to be done. Oh yeah, this guy we were going to have. So now we've got a second uh, onager up here. We could just put him like 2, 3. Yeah, he's fine right there. So we'll just put him right there. We'll nudge these guys out of the way, and we'll just fortify him right there, just to provide cover for the onager. So it, this is going to be. I mean, I'm not expecting anyone to come up this way anyway, but God help them if they did, because this is lethal. You know. Okay, so he's done. We're just gonna leave him there. He's done. We're just gonna leave him there. I well, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I saw a guard promotion. He's only like 50 points away. Eh, when you get the save file back after you finish upgrading the swords, maybe worth giving him a guard promotion. That'll give him a bonus on defense. So if you swing him up to close the trap, what that does is it opens you up to, if Assyria's got more guys back here, he could then threaten you, so that archer could come under attack, and the plus 10 defense would you know certainly be helpful in that context. So something to think about. You might want to uh, give guys that are reasonably close to their promotions, just go ahead and promote them, and then that way you get the combat advantage for that, for not very many uh, training points. So something to think about. In terms of, like, that guy's only 12 away and he had focus 2. That would be a superb upgrade for him. Uh, okay. So when this save file came to me, it had 7 orders. I'm going to leave those 5 orders and save the game here to return to uh, the original player. So, I what I would recommend, I mean, you're like 95% ready to go to war. What I would recommend before you declare war on whomever is as follows. Um, Rebuild your training points. You can use rally troops to make that happen more quickly. So get at least 1,000 training points in the bank. Uh, Turn your attention to one. I mean, the troops are basically where they need to be. So other than spending some orders on upgrading the rest of the axemen to swordsmen, I would start saving orders, because you can bank up to 100 with the laws that we're running. So do that and give yourself 100 orders in the bank, at a minimum. Well, I mean, that's the maximum. But yeah, bank 100 orders, because you'll need them when the fighting starts. Um, Keep working on the economy, especially food specialists and maybe some more farms if you find attractive places to put them. And like, I had built a farm next to this food special. So, might not be a bad idea to put another granary here and then farm all the way around it, like you've done on other parts of the map. And that would, you know, and that's the only negative we've got right now. And that would collectively turn it very much positive. So definitely do that. You'll want to focus on building up decent surpluses in all of these, and continue to, incrementally increase. I would say shoot for 100 surplus, or plus 100 per turn in every category, preferably plus 200. But I mean, don't go crazy. 100 a turn is plenty. I would think. But that way, when you start fighting, that's one less thing to worry about, right? You've got some slack in the economy, and if you can't afford to give orders to workers for a few turns, or even like a dozen turns, it's okay, because you've got the surpluses to ride that out. But if you don't have the surpluses and you can't scrape up the orders to move your workers and survive in battle, then you could very quickly wind up in like an economic death spiral, and you don't want to do that. That's unpleasant. If you thought getting mugged by Assyria was unpleasant, economic death spiral, way worse than getting mugged by another Civ. Um, so yeah, don't fall into that trap. I have been there, done that, gotten several T-shirts, didn't like it at all. Uh, yeah, but I think that's it. I feel 100% confident giving this file back to you now. We have closed the gap on Assyria, which was the main overriding goal. Now, Babylon still has better tech, but Babylon almost always has better tech because that's their thing. So I wasn't expecting necessarily to catch up with Babylon in tech, but when we started, we had 24, I think, orders. So we've got not quite double, but we're significantly up there. We're taking more steps to increase that further. Um, we have three very strong battle groups. This one way stronger than the others, but they're all strong enough to accomplish their missions. Um, so yeah, you're ready to rock and roll. You got this. And I will be making a part 4 if you want to see some spoilers. And I think even though Persia would be the logical choice, I think I'm probably going to ambush Syria anyway, since it did that to you. And we'll just kind of, give them some payback. Um, but that'll be, if you don't want to watch them, just skip part 4 altogether. And if you do, I will see you there. And the save file is coming back to you.